I have another build video series that we're going to start. We're still working on the glide baits, but this idea has been rolling around in my head for a while, and I just got to do something about it. There's two things I fish with a lot, especially this time of year. One is a jig. The second thing, why is he so hard to hold? I love lipless crankbaits. So the thing is, when it's hot, summertime, you're always throwing a jig. I don't paint jigs. They're not as fun to paint as like a lipless crankbait. So my idea is, what if the two of these, if we can get them to fall in love, and then we have the offspring of them, which would be a lipless crankbait jig mixture. So it looks something kind of like this, if you guys get the idea. But I'm also going to try to make it different and original. This might already exist. I don't know. I didn't Google it because I didn't want to be persuaded in any direction or be inspired off of something that already exists. So it might already exist. I'm going to try to be original with it if it does exist. We're going to move over to my workbench, and then I'll sketch out my design, and you guys let me know what you think. Okay, so here's the really rough idea. So I know baits like this exist. I've seen this before. But what I'm thinking about doing is having that hook exposed at the top, and then we could still glue in like a like a brush guard if we wanted. But what I'm thinking is this line tie right here. Have this be have the hook down inside of the bait like this, so there'll be a cavity inside of the wood bait where the hook sits down in there. Maybe I'll put a magnet that kind of holds it in place, somewhere about in that angle. And then once the hook is set, it'll be able to flow away from the body. So your line, who knows, I guess, if a fish is fighting it, but your line's coming off right there, and your hook's right there. And then the whole back of this will be skirt material, so we can do whatever color skirt material we wanted. And then really rough drawing here on the body. I want a really pouty looking fish, or we can do customize and make it more of an angry looking fish. Up to you guys if you want pouty fish or angry fish. And then my thought was, if I made this kind of flat right here on the bait, then that's how it would sit on the bottom. So that's kind of the rough idea and my thought. But I thought this would be kind of a fun contraption to make inside of a hard-bodied bait that we could paint. But then we still have the fun skirt material that'll dance in the water. And then also where this hook can come up once the hook is set, or, get that part into the fish. There'll be a little magnet somewhere inside the bait right there. So I think that's an alright idea. Somewhere over in this area, we'll have a cavity for weight. That way it sits like that at the bottom. And then hopefully, with this being a straight line, if we're not jigging it on the bottom and we do a slow retrieval, we can get a little bit of wobbling action. I think my first focus will be getting the bait to sink and sit and get all of our shape and everything, or I guess close to the shape. And then we can focus on trying to make it swim. But if you guys, I'd like to hear your opinions on it. A couple things. One, angry. Should we go angry eyes? Kind of like I was looking at one of my other swim baits. Should we do angry? Really mean looking, aggressive fish? Or should we do really pouty, kind of cartoony style? And then I can take a picture of this drawing, bring it over to the computer, and start making my files for it. But we'll also need a name for it, which we can come up with that later. But this was a rough idea, kind of an ugly sketch, but I think you guys get the point with the hook being something like that, or it be exposed at the top, but then could move. So let me know what you guys think, and I will see you in the next Baker Builds Lure Workshop video.